Welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Keith Malley.
I'm Chemda.
The other day, of course, we talked about the great Gilbert Gottfried. He
R.I.P.
passed, and we mentioned R.I.P. indeed. KeithandtheGirl.com/Gilbert Gottfried. You can go and hear full-length episodes of every time he was on our show. What I failed to mention that you might like to hear if you miss him like we do, My Opening Line is a podcast we did for a while.
Right.
And it was having these big-name comedians on and go through their life, how they start. I mean, he started doing stand-up at what? He quit school, started doing stand-up at 15, up until now. This is fairly recently he was on, of course. So you can look under wherever you get your podcast, My Opening Line, and it's episode number 12, Gilbert Gottfried's First Time. It reads, Legend Gilbert Gottfried covers his first time in comedy while sharing his need for attention and being raised by television. And he definitely was raised by television. That's for sure. Or his TV references or anything before Kojak. The gang covers Gilbert's early impressions, his breaks on TV, and the time Jerry Seinfeld sucked off Boris Karloff. This god of laughter is hilarious and personal as we chronologically cover his rise to stardom. I think you'll dig that a lot.
He doesn't mind saying anything. He will. Right. He's gone, but I don't think he ever would have said, "What can I say?" He's like, right. I'm going to say it, and then we're going to find out. But looks like I can say it. Right,
and my wife will tuck me in after she drives me home. Today's guest, if you're a Keith and the Girl regular listener, you love him. That's a fact. The podcast you want to download is A Very Long Conversation and Overslept. He's been on James Corden very recently, Jimmy Kimmel, of course. Chris Laker. Hello, Chris.
Hello.
It's good to see you, Chris. Is it Chris? I was texting Chris the other day. I go, I'm very excited to talk to you. It's been a bit. And he goes, I'm more excited. I go, I doubt it. He said, we'll see. And here we are. No, I'm thrilled. I miss you.
I am very excited.
Okay.
I'm
really
extremely
like...
excited. I'm like the Pointer Sisters.
Okay.
Is that a saying? That's the Pointer Sisters, right?
I followed.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so excited I just can't hide it.
Yeah.
Sure.
I like
I'm about
that
to lose control.
You both got haircuts for this, it seems. And this is, by the way, these two losing control. You ever meet someone and you have to remind yourself that they're happy to see you and excited to know you and glad to be there? Mm-hmm. That's you two. We have to go like, oh, yeah, this is them thrilled. Like when you guys go, I'm thrilled. I am so excited. I can't hide it. Not hiding it means you're just saying it out loud, right?
I think a lot of people don't go to therapy. And if you did and you were bettering yourself, you would learn that you listen to a person's words. And that's just the words. And that keeps you from misunderstanding in your own brain what they're saying. I am very happy to see Chris.
I went to a concert. I went to see the Hold Steady at the Beacon Theater once with some friends. And one of the people I didn't really know that well. And afterwards she was like, did you like that? And I was like, yeah, it was like the best concert I ever saw. I was like, they're like one of my favorite bands. It was great. And she's like, oh, okay.
Just like... And tell them why you're laughing.
It's the same thing with Keith. One time, it was New Year's Eve, and I was hired by another friend of ours who was hired to do the New Year's Eve show.
It was an outdoor show at New York Hotel in Vegas.
It was a rock show. It was a fucking amazing time. And we're singing all these songs on stage, and Brother Love is the lead, and he's killing it, and people are stopping by and stuff. And you can always see Keith out in the crowd. Everyone's jumping up and down or raising a fist or an arm or like just swaying. And Keith is still stoic, just standing there. And he's like 6'2". So, he stands out a lot, and he has enough room to mosh, but is not moshing. And then afterwards we go, we played some of the songs that you really like. We know your taste in music. Were you into it? And he's like, did you guys see me rocking out there?
Yeah.
He thought that he was moving around and waving his arms and just like crazy into it. If you asked him what a video of him in a crowd listening to music he likes looks like, it would be so animated. And in reality, he's just standing there.
If I'm nodding my head to the beat, you got me.
It's a party. It's a party.
Yeah, if I'm like this. I mean, that's as much as I'm going to do.
I nod my head very slowly, and then I turn to the people beside me. I go, sorry, I'm into it. In fact, that same trip in Vegas where when we got there, Van Halen happened to be playing. and I never got to see him live. And Brother Love was excited too, and so we ran in. People were coming out. By the way, neither here nor there. People were coming out, and we're like, "Well, this sucks. Here's free tickets." So we got our tickets. I'm in there after the concert. Brother Love and we were with another person. They go, "Were you having fun at all?" I'm like, "Yeah, I don't study music, so I can't even tell that Eddie's on heroin right now. I was loving it." And they told me I just stood there like an upright casket.
An upright casket. That's the name of the show.
Yeah. Does just your girlfriend Jacqueline, does she say to you, Chris, like, hey, I mean, not now she knows, but in the beginning of the relationship, was that a thing? Like, first of all, I'm a performer, you're a performer, we need emotion. I need to know you care that we're going to dinner. I need to know that you don't like when we go bowling.
I think when there's sex involved, I'm probably more animated.
I see.
I think I probably like, yeah, I'm then I'm like, it's like if I'm on stage, I like perform. If I'm like performing, then I'm performing. But if I'm not, like, what do you need?
By the way, you're performing right now. What do you think you look like?
Yeah, but I'm like sitting in the house. It's hard. I think I'm.
Like you're acting like you were on court and doing cartwheels.
I yelled. I get loud.
Okay.
Okay. You get passionate.
Yeah. I'm not. Yeah, I don't move. I got to learn how to move around the stage a bit. I am what they call a park and barker. They say park and bark. That's what I got. Sometimes I'm moving, I get lost.
Do people often ask you, like, hey, are you having fun with me? Not even Jacqueline, just out and about. Like, are you all right? Should we take you home?
I mean, I don't really have friends anymore. So I don't know. I think maybe that's why. Maybe people didn't realize I liked hanging out with them.
Right.
But it's fine.
Well, you know what he does? He has a stoic face in general, right, Linda? Is that fair to say?
Sure, yeah.
He's generous when we do our marathons. He'll be the guy that's willing to be there for several hours in the middle of the night. And me and Henda will be like, does he want to be here? Well, obviously he does. He's a grown man and we're at hour 3. But at the same time, is he happy? We never know. We have to assume. And I just wonder, do you have family members? Do you have siblings?
Yeah, I do. I have 2 brothers.
Are they stoic? Are they loud?
That is, I don't know.
You wouldn't know. Right?
I guess my younger my older brother. Yeah, I would say my younger brother is more animated, or I don't know if you say animated. He's probably more prone to dance at a wedding.
More prone,
right? I won't. It takes a lot for me to dance at a wedding, and it's still brief. Right. And it's got not like whatever song they play that's like a some
rockin' good
like
time,
a 70s soul song or something like that.
Right.
It's got to be slow. And then I'll be with like Jacqueline and like I'll sway a little bit, but then I'm still like I don't know what I'm doing here.
Well, I'm dating a person who doesn't, super show the emotion, and I really have learned, like, I'm so excited means he's jumping up and down, and he has to learn that when I'm excited, there's no question. I actually come up to him, and my knee is bad, so I can't dance right now, but dancing is coming, and I'll be like, it's time for food. Are you hungry? Or do you want to wait a bit? What's up?
Yeah, that'd be something.
At home, I will do. I just me and Jacqueline and the cat. I will be goofy and fun and shit. But like outside of that, because I feel safe. Outside of that, I'm like I don't give anybody anything.
Well, you said you called it. You called it being prone to dancing. You say that about Alzheimer's and cancer. Well,
it's like because when I see people dance, I'm watching. I am watching, and I think they look silly. So I'm like, I don't want to look like that.
I see.
I'm like, because I know I can't dance, and I don't drink. When I drank, sure, but I now that I don't drink, I can't dance.
You don't do anything now. Is that correct? You quit weed.
Yeah. I'm not happy about that. But you know, what are you gonna do? It's on or off. I'm an alcoholic, so I probably shouldn't have been smoking. They told me at the AA meetings you shouldn't smoke weed, so I stopped going to those meetings.
Right.
And, and then after a while, I was like, all right, they're right. But I had fun in between.
What happened recently that made you quit marijuana?
And how did you pick 420 to be on the show?
That was just I didn't think about it.
Well,
about the
happy
the date
holiday, you
after I
fucking
did.
atheist.
I'll say this is I'll say the quick version. I smoked too much weed, which is what I usually aim to do. But I fainted, and which has only happened 4 other times. I don't know. But I always just was like, I got dizzy and fell down. But this time Jacqueline was there and she saw it. And it was, I was just like, it seemed that my heart rate dropped or whatever. So
how hard did you fall?
I mean, I fainted. Like I was like unresponsive for like a few seconds.
That's so scary. And this is from weed?
Yeah. Yeah.
When
I mean,
you
it was
say passing
strong as
out,
shit.
when you say passing out like 4 times, was that on weed? Or you just
it was always weed. Yeah, but the
Wow.
other stuff was all street weed. So who knows what was in, New York street weed. It hadn't happened for a while. And this time I was way too, I was like, didn't want to get off the couch, but I had to feed the cat. Jacqueline was asleep on the couch. I'm standing at the sink and like, I just like, I felt, I came to like, Jacqueline. So it's just like,
Now, if she wasn't there, would you have continued to ignore it and not say anything about it?
Yeah, for sure.
So you have found yourself on the ground after fainting, but just nobody was around.
Because this happened like it happened once at the, like, I remember one time I was at the, it was like a Halloween at the knitting factory in Brooklyn. And I was like, I was just like standing there next to another comedian. I just like fell down on the ground and usually I immediately pop back up and I'm like, but
now when this happens in front of Jackie, does she go and then do you admit that this happened before? And then
yeah. And then I was just like,
and then is she upset that like you ignored it, didn't do anything about it, didn't tell her?
Well, it hadn't happened in a few years. So, but like, then I was like, yeah, it did happen this time and this time. And then it's like, yeah, I guess,
holy shit,
I guess it's time to, not do that anymore. Cause,
what's your advice now?
Back to alcohol.
I'm trying to find one. I can't, let's think about, gambling, but I can't shuffle cards. It's a real problem. It's very emasculating to have to pass the deck over to another person to shuffle for you.
It's funny the problems that find us, right? We don't get to pick. Yeah.
So I don't know what's left. I mean, fentanyl.
Well, that's what's in your weed. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, it seems like if you intentionally do fentanyl, you're safer than when you do it unintentionally. So you might as well just go for it.
Right.
Fentanyl it up.
Chris was saying it was his Overslept podcast. Remind me, by the way, do you do it first thing in the morning?
Yeah, it's when I wake up.
Okay.
Yeah.
But there wasn't one today. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's up.
Oh, for some reason it wasn't coming in for me. Okay.
Well, I mean, I wake up at like, 9 or 10, somewhere between 9 and 10, and then I record it and put it up.
Okay.
But it should be up now.
You were talking about how you saw the Batman movie.
Yes.
And by the way, Batman is now on HBO Max on your TV, so you can watch this thriller in 17 parts the way it was designed to see. So, but he's watching. He's like, I forgot. No weed. This fucking sucks. And it's kind of the way I felt about the Jackass movie. I realized, Henda pointed out afterwards, but I was bored by this Jackass movie. They're saying is the best one yet. And I remember watching it, and I'm feeling like I'm one of these guys' moms. I'm like, you're gonna need your balls. Good. And then I realized, it's the first sober one I've ever seen. So it might be a combination of age also, but it's the first sober one, and that does ruin stupid things.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna cancel Disney Plus. I think it's like what I don't. What do I care about Boba Fett anymore?
Right.
It's like the special effects. It's just like a video game that you're watching, and it's like I can just stare at it and ignore like what this. I don't have to worry about what the story is.
Yes. I did like your idea about Batman, though. Like DC seems to have this problem that Marvel doesn't, where they have to start a new story. They have to have new actors. There's going to be The Flash movie. This guy was just arrested for the second time. I got news today for harassment. He threw a chair at somebody at a party. So they're going to have a new Flash after this Flash comes out. Anyway, Chris had the idea. Then let's always have a new Batman, but all kinds of Batman. Like the next one should be a big fat Batman, right? And then the next one, blah, blah, blah. I love this idea. Get nuts.
It's just other rich guys playing a rich guy.
Yes. Or make him poor one day or make him a thief. Who knows? Yeah, who gives a shit?
Or have like, I'm also thinking maybe you just do 5 at once. Have 5 different Batmen. And now this is the opposite where I said, but then you have to be Batman for life. You got to grow old being Batman, and maybe also do some Batman shit out in the world, like fight a little crime in New York City. Let's feel like this is real a little bit. You know, I'm kind of annoyed that nobody's like been a superhero or supervillain after all these movies. It's inspired fucking.
So
nothing.
you're looking for a reality show Batman.
I want a mix. You know, you want scripted. You know, you don't want to but I want to feel like, hey, this could happen. So throw a Batman out there.
This hasn't been greenlit yet. The logistics seem so simple.
Well, I got to email DC.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
this is just me, like, coming up with ideas.
What's the area code for Gotham? Do you know that yet? Have we started the research?
Gotham's New York City. We got to stop fucking around with that and like making it half Chicago, half New York. It's New York. Enough of this shit.
No kidding. They have a Gotham Square Garden. Like, what are we? Is the city going to sue you? They're giving you tax breaks, for God's sakes. When you smoke, though, it's easy. You mentioned to get out of conversation. Just be like, "Oh, I have an addiction. You know, I got to go outside." What are you going to do about that? You're going to have to talk to people.
Well, I just I guess I could just pretend. I just carry a pack of cigarettes and be like, I'm going to go outside to smoke, and then I'll just go home.
Was this you or somebody else where somebody followed this person, whoever I'm thinking of, they followed them outside to smoke, and whether it's you or somebody else, they went, actually, I have to get some from the store. And the guy's like, okay, I'll walk to the store. And then they bought a pack of cigarettes and had to smoke it because of this weird lie. That wasn't you?
That was not me.
Okay.
I would feel bad for whoever that was, the other person who I was trying to. I think people try to avoid me enough.
I see. Okay.
I've definitely been the person. I feel like in retrospect, where someone's like, "I'm going to go over here." I was like, "Ride the subway with you," and they're like, "Fuck," you know.
But you do like seeing people fucked up around you, right? Drunk or high. Is this true?
Yes. It's because it's fun. I like people having a good time. Just because, you know, I don't think the party doesn't have to end because I got to get up for work in the morning. You know, it's like,
right.
I like to be around a good time.
Is it as long as they're not dancing? That's embarrassing.
I mean, they can dance. It's wedding dancing, really, that I think people that, you know, but I it's not like I'm out at nightclubs. I'm at a bar. Nobody's dancing in a bar, really, unless they're, you know, it's like 2 people and they're like, you know, pushed up against a jukebox or something.
How long have you been sober, off alcohol?
Off alcohol? Shit.
Since you were like 21, right?
Since I was 21. I was fucking way back in 1994. So It's been a minute.
Yeah, I did. Are you ever tempted, or you're good now?
No, I'm not gonna drink. It's a fucking mess. It's always a mess. You know, it's like I would shit my pants. You know, I mean,
you don't go back to that.
You can't glamorize that at all. There's nothing like, Nobody. Oh, I had so much fun. I shit my pants. Nobody
Right.
is happy about that.
Did you
Lot of
shit your
sense.
pants on location or once you got home?
Who's to say? You wake up,
name it, honey.
there's shit in
Right.
the pants. You know, it's like it could happen anywhere along the way.
I like people fucked up around me. I think that keeps me sober. I did this not too long ago. I was tempted. I don't know why, but I deliberately went by these bars that I know where I would see people fucked up. You know, one guy's passed out by a dumpster, this kind of thing. And I'm like, that feels good. I like to do that every now and
Yeah,
again.
because you see
Little
them,
tune up.
yeah, and then you just get to go home and you wake up the next day and you feel all right.
Yeah.
And they all have, and it's like you're around the chaos, but you don't have to have the repercussions of it.
Yes.
Are you going to AA meetings now? I'm looking at Chris.
No, I don't think it would be harder for me to quit weed if I had to do homework. You know, I was never a big, even when I went to meetings, I didn't really do like steps and all that stuff. Not like nothing against it. Like the meetings are like when I first got sober, like it was important for me to be around people who were sober and all that. It just wasn't the making amends and all that. Yeah. You know, those people are just gonna have to deal with it.
They weren't so nice either.
Oh, I mean, what's there to forgive? All is forgiven. You know, it's all past is the past. I don't need to like.
Well, you're not trying to hang out with anybody, so
Yeah,
yeah.
but and it's you need me to show up. Be sorry. I pissed on your rug. Yeah,
Are you all right
of course,
now?
Of course, I'm sorry. I pissed on your rug.
Who do you think's more embarrassed, by the way? You know,
I did
just
apologize to that guy
that's good.
because he told me, but in the moment, not later.
Well, I had to throw it out anyway. You know.
Yeah.
What's funny is when I'm talking to somebody, I don't realize they're drunk or high, and then you realize, and you're like as long as I know you're fucked up, I don't want to tell you something heartfelt, and then you tell me the story I just told you, but you think you went through it, and I'm like, oh, you're drunk. Okay, now, but what's good, I did get better at just walking away from drunks. You know, mid story, they don't know, it's fine. Worst case, they think it's them. It's their fault.
I have a harder time when it's cocaine because they never want to let you know that they're coked up. They want to act like it's like everything's cool.
Right.
And so you got to have to pick up on it and then be like, okay, this I need to get away from. Cocaine.
I feel like there's a small tell, like let's say you're talking to somebody who's 50 and he's not talking about he's in the habit of running marathons and being athletic, but he has all the energy in the world and it's 3 a.m. That's something.
Yeah. Well, it's usually like there's a lot of bragging, you know, and a lot of talking about a stock portfolio or crypto or something. And then you're like, all right, you're just full of shit and you're coked up and everything's just coming out of you.
Tell me, I'm reading this. Tell me if Jaden Smith, the son of Will Smith, tell me if he was high when he made this statement. This I really do enjoy. Jaden Smith, whose dad, Will Smith, slapped Chris Rock at the Oscars
Oh
last
my
month.
God.
Yes!
What happened?
I love it. Are you over this story? Because I wanted to go on forever.
I've never had anything to say about like what happens between two dudes, and you know, I don't know. I think they could hash it out.
They said in the let's see, Jaden said in an interview that he prefers hanging out with older people because his generation doesn't like to talk about the quote political and economic state of the world. I'm very happy that I spent my childhood with more adults than I did with kids my own age. He's 23 for the record. He was on a show called Big Boy TV. Oh, good for him, Big Boy. He went on to imitate a young person exclaiming, "Look at my phone, selfie." I'm just like, dude, Smith lamented. Can we talk about the political and economic state of the world right now? Can we talk about what's going on with the environment? It's not, I'm not satisfied at just like a party.
You know what's fun is Jaden has no idea how much he sounds like a 23-year-old. That is exactly what we were saying, what your peers are saying, How come you don't care about the thing that I just recognized as the problem for decades? Right. Why isn't anyone doing anything about this? I'm the only one thinking about this. I am so glad that I am so mature at 23. Yes, that's exactly what a 23-year-old would say. Thank you for your hot take. We really shouldn't take it that seriously, but we should acknowledge it because you are a fucking adult and you do have shit to say. And maybe we have thought about this and you're acting like it's a new thought, but good on you. You're thinking. Great.
I mean, Jaden Smith, I mean, I feel bad. You can't expect him to be like a normal 23-year-old.
That's normal. Who's expecting?
I mean, just like I think, but it's like the fact that he's pontificating and people are just saying, I don't know. The fact
that you're taking a 23-year-old's pontification and making it news. Yes. Well,
I don't see anything even wrong with him saying that or whatever. It's not, he's he and an underrated Karate Kid in my view.
That's the real point here. That's the takeaway.
Maybe
I go Hilary Swank, Jaden Smith, Ralph Macchio, which is unpopular amongst a lot of people, but
wow.
I'm saying it's close. It's close, but
you hear that, Ralph Macchio? You're close. You got it almost there.
You got the Karate Kid for the son. You got Ali for the dad. If they didn't make like a fifth
season of Cobra Kai, maybe he'd be higher up. I think he went back to the well too many times. That's my problem.
Remember what there was the slap, and then Jaden Smith tweeted out, "That's how we do it." And then he added, "But seriously, global warming, it's a national problem." And speaking of fathers and sons, I emailed my dad for the first time in about 2 years.
And just for the record, he has been emailing you, trying to get your attention, pretending like no bad blood has happened between you, even though he was secretly emailing your ex, but really he was emailing you because you were catfishing him. He ended up hitting on your ex, which is really you. There was a whole saga. The saga continues, but without you responding to your dad for the last couple of years.
You can hear everything at keithandthegirl.com/dad. And right now I'm in the middle of turning that into a book. So, I'm in the thick of it again, it feels like. And,
Why do you feel that way?
Every 5 seconds reading this book, I'm like, you motherfucker. Then you told her she makes your libido jingle. Then you emailed me and wrote, how's my wonderful son doing? Then you tease later after that. This is where I'm at right now. You tease that you know stuff about Kat. And I go, okay, then tell me. I can't tell you that. That's confidence. But I have a lot of secrets. I know things. So, what are you even doing? You just need me to know that something weird is going on? But, So when my dad writes out of the blue, because he doesn't know how to connect with anybody, reminiscing, and he sent the lyrics, nothing else, the lyrics to Sunrise Sunset from Fiddler on the Roof. Where did this little girl I raised go to? Sunrise Sunset. I couldn't help myself. And so I sent back, let's see here. So I get it right. That's a beautiful song. Oh, here it is. What a sweet song. I like the one I've attached. And I attached B. Jason's Not Cats in My Email based on my dad's favorite song, Cats in the Cradle.
That's him typing.
My son's ex-wife is a vibrant lass. She's one intelligent piece of ass. What dearest Keith was thinking is a mystery. So I think I'll email Ms. Lavery. It got hot before I knew it, but truth to tell, I can keep secrets very well, Cat. I can keep secrets very well.
He said that.
And not cats in my email with that Irish poon. I hope I get to see her in my inbox soon. But when am I gonna find out? I don't know when. That my son's on the other end. My feeble mind couldn't comprehend.
You've got mail.
Couple chants in the background. He was a Catholic priest. Beautiful. And I swear the chants, they say horny, but B. Jason says they don't. I don't think he knows his own song. But
So you
that's
sent
what I
him.
sent. Yeah.
You sent him this. It has quotes from the emails back and forth from Kat. It has Kat's first and last name in it, and it has the the story in a nutshell, basically.
Yeah.
So you're like, hey, this is not only do I know this, here's a reminder that there's a song made up about this saga.
I know everything because I'm the one who sent the emails, Dad.
Right.
Yeah. I got an email back fairly fast.
Is he busy?
Right. He's not very busy. That's true.
No.
I see you still have a beautiful voice. Now, first of all, this had to crush me, Jason. Now, it just shows you my dad doesn't know me. But actually, what it is, I've realized, he keeps saying that all his kids have beautiful voices, and some of us do not. I could say that, I'm included. But he says that because he says he spent easily over 2 decades doing cabaret shows all over the country. I can't find an article on it, but okay. And that he has a wonderful voice. So if we didn't have a wonderful voice, that might take away the fact that supposedly he had a wonderful voice. So I have to have a wonderful voice.
Nice and simple, logical. Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
I see you still have a beautiful voice. Now, if we could only encourage you to choose your words more diplomatically.
So all he heard was the curse words, right?
I think he got it, but I think he's saying, if we're going to solve whatever happened, and I know something you don't, I can't share to make it a riddle, you're going to have to admit what you did was wrong. Catfishing is wrong. And maybe we can move on from there somehow.
Oh,
But if this is your diplomacy, Irish poon and whacking off on my keyboard, then I don't think we can get anywhere. That's what I think he's saying.
Way.
He's using the word diplomacy. What's he saying?
Read it again.
First of all, I'm happy to read this part. I see you still have a beautiful voice.
Mm-hmm. First line.
Now, if we could only encourage you to choose your words more diplomatically.
I don't know. I think he's going like, that never happened. I'm not listening. I don't think he's attaching it.
He obviously listened. He wouldn't know. He wouldn't think it's a song. He thinks I wrote it because of the song.
See,
he thinks like you could have sang it, and it's like it's something that you. I mean, the voice sounds like it could have been you. So he's complimenting you. He's going positive up front.
Right.
He doesn't care for the language. I mean, and he doesn't. I mean, who likes to be pointed out, like by their son, no less? That you were trying to hook up with an ad. With his ad. Who was that? You know, come on. You don't email me at all. Now you can still, can we just? I mean, how many times you gonna bring it up?
Do I have to make amends for that?
For catfishing your dad?
No, him. Like we get it. I did it. Okay.
Yeah, what do you? He's like, what do you want me to do?
You don't get to send me weird songs out of nowhere and me not go. Okay, here's a song, weirdo. How do you think, on what planet can I be a person and just meet you again and go, hi, let's move on from that mess and just be nothing stronger than family? On what planet could that happen? And on what planet can he do the same? Hi, so I was I catfished you. You catfished me, and I was really I thought I was hitting on your ex, but it was you, and I was pretty perverted, and you read all the words. Anyway, mom's doing a little better in the home. How do we? You can't. It's impossible. Because he'll never come clean on me. That's impossible.
You think you were above being catfished if you were like an older guy who wasn't like as like tech savvy? Like you couldn't have been catfished a little bit. And if somebody's like saying to you, "Hey, you're like a hot old dude," you wouldn't be like, "Oh, jeez, yeah." Like, let me,
No, because you're making up a story. This person is Keith's ex-wife, not just
I know.
ex.
I listened to a lot of this stuff. There was on a flight from here to New York. I went down the rabbit hole of the dad emails. And it was disturbing.
It's really crazier and crazier. Yeah.
But I mean, it's like at the same time, I kind of see. I kind of understand. Like it's wrong. I'm not defending your dad, but at the same.
Are you computer savvy?
I'm not. I mean, I wouldn't have gone down that road. I don't think.
No,
I would
you
hope
don't
I
think
wouldn't.
so? You would
that's
hope.
fine.
You don't know until
But I also
nobody
don't
knows
have
until
children for this reason. I don't
Right.
trust them.
Right.
I don't need that in my life.
nobody
You know
knows
what I mean?
until the time. It's easy for me to say because nobody knows until the time comes. Will you go out of your way and behind your son's back reach out to the ex-wife of 2 years? Could be causing some drama, whatever. You want attention, and so you reach out, and then it's possible that somebody pretends to be that person and wants to have sex with you.
I
You,
mean, he
you
doesn't-
think that could happen to Chris Laker?
He doesn't know that many women. You know what I mean? It's like it's just.
Are these
That's what happens
excuses?
after
What
a while.
are these? What are these statements about?
I'll tell you what is happening right now.
now.
Chris Laker is being my dad's lawyer, but the way that dude was the lawyer in Sleepers. So thank you, Chris.
I'm saying that I think it's he was wrong, obviously, but it's what are you gonna do?
Make a book.
Yeah, you make the book, but then would you, if you want the opportunity to catfish your dad again, you got to get on a more friendly basis with him. You know what I mean?
I don't know. Daddy Issues, the podcast that me and my brother do, we got him again with a different woman.
Oh, I see. I haven't.
So
heard.
that he,
Okay.
yeah, oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it goes on.
Oh,
and
come
on.
on! How
Yeah.
many times you gonna catfish your dad?
4. Then he sent an email to all of us siblings, and I was added to this one. So I think it was sent right
You're
before he
buddies now.
actually heard the song. But I was added, and usually I'm not. It is a year today since Mom arrived at this location. My mom is in a home because she has terrible dementia, can barely even talk. She seems to like it here. They certainly treat her better here than the first 2 places. This is out of the blue, of course. I only hear good things about this place, both from those who work here and those who visited other places. Now, if you recall, my dad also believed that somebody at this place was sabotaging my mom's wheelchair so she would die. But somehow he's good with the place now. Everything's fine.
She
by
was
the way,
in 2
how's-
other places.
How is everything a fucking conspiracy? But you can't figure out there's a chance Keith might be having virtual intercourse with you. You know, these detectives, you really only detect what you want, I guess.
I mean, it's like those guys that get caught, on instant messenger with cops. It's like they want to, when they think it's like a kid.
Yeah.
They want to believe it's so bad that they'll drive to the catch a predator house.
But that's so unfair. They're so not tech savvy. So isn't it weird that the police targets not tech savvy people who think they're talking to children? Maybe that's unfair.
There's a difference between talking to your son's ex-wife and talking to a child.
I tell you what,
I think we
don't
could say
talk to
that.
anyone's ex-wife behind their back, and nothing will happen to you.
Where's the
It's
line? You know what I think is even worse than all that? The Holocaust.
I'm on
saying.
not that side.
Yeah. Let's see. Time passes so quickly, said one of the siblings. I'm glad you found Mom such a nice place to live. Thanks for marking the anniversary. And then I wrote, did they comment on you and my ex, or is that unrelated? It's probably unrelated. You don't get to just rate me on the side what you want and then act like things are normal with the siblings. Okay. I guess you never thought I'd do this because I didn't. Hey, what about...
Is that reply all, I assume?
Yeah, that's reply all.
Oh, you found that button?
But then it bothers me that my brother, Ken, who I do
Daddy issues.
daddy issues with, just moved on so nobody got too upset. Because I know my siblings don't even really want to deal with it. They like to they know, but they like to pretend it didn't happen and move on with the superficial relationship. My dad, of course, wouldn't want to address it around other people, and so my brother says, let's see, when did Mom go to the first home? And Dad, after it said December 1st, 2020. So, my brother just wants to do a favor. Like, let's move on so that you can still be included in these emails. I don't care. You guys will send me all the emails. I'm caught up. I don't give a fuck. He thinks I have to pretend everything's fine because otherwise I won't learn about Mom. Another reason this guy's sick. Chris.
I mean, I think it sounds like there's a lot of reasons to be upset with your father, and that the catfishing is you did that for fun, right? and you got the book. I mean, it's like but yeah, your dad. I don't know. You're not looking to rectify things there, right?
It can't be. If
Right.
if he would have, and it's simple, but he would have to admit he knows that he was only talking to me, never talking to the ex. The ex, he doesn't have secrets so that he can't explain things because of the ex because it never happened. That's what you have to do. That's it. It's pretty simple, and quite frankly, it's very forgiving. But there's no universe that would ever happen. So, I'm not playing.
But did you tell him that you need him to
Yes.
apologize?
Yeah, I said you have to admit that there is no fucking secret you can't tell me and that it was me. You have to admit that. Here's the website link.
Also, adults know what they have to do.
Right.
They know when it's like, oh, hey, this is what you did. You know what you have to do. It's not.
Sounds like he has
email
some
out
blind
of the blue
spots.
to say some
Blind
blind
spots.
spots.
He did write me once. I complained, and sometimes he types. Usually he waits on it and he makes sure every word's just so and checks with the source. But sometimes he snaps, kind of like I did with the Cats in the Cradle song. And he'll rate a sentence, and you can tell because things aren't spelled right. Rates it real quick, and I guarantee he regrets it. For example, one time he snapped and wrote, "What part of X don't you understand?" And I'm like, "You just said that."
And like
It's
Chris
your
said,
ex, Keith. What's the hang up? Like, what the fuck?
he's not tech savvy, and he misses the undo button right there in his Gmail.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that's mean. That makes you a bully, Keith.
Thank you. No, I'm not. I don't have 1 inch of sadness, regret, or thinking I'm mean. And I was saying this the other day. It's funny that Kyle, my dad will write some stupid non-happy birthday wish to me, and Kyle will be like, "Well, you can at least say thank you." Look, I'm supposed to write thank you, and then whatever you write back, that I can ignore then? What the fuck?
Back to our regularly scheduled anger.
Right. Oh, well. Speaking of which, you know what? You mentioned this, Chris, on your podcast, and this dude, I'm not saying my dad was fucking kids, but this dude reminds me of my dad, Jimmy Savile.
Yeah, that I've lost all respect for the whole country of England over that.
Thinking he's
documentary.
funny.
Yes, that there was nothing entertaining about that guy to begin with. Even if he didn't touch the kids, I'd be like, this country is stupid.
Right.
And then, of course, he's like one of the worst people ever.
So it's on Netflix, Henda. It's called Jimmy Savile. You'll see it. You'll see it based on that. And he had a show. I guess he was a DJ, but they don't. Well, they say DJ, and that's odd. That's an odd country. But they don't really explore that. So I don't know if it sounds like he just played songs and he was half funny in between them, I guess. But anyway, then he had a TV show called Jimmy Will Fix It, and it was like Make a Wish, and kids would write in like, "Oh, I want to go to the moon." So he makes like a room in his studio look like the moon, and this kid walks around it, right? All these Make a Wish things.
He raised an estimated 40 million euro for charities during his lifetime. He was widely praised for his personal qualities and as a fundraiser. He was a OBEKCSG, was an English DJ, television, radio personality who hosted BBC shows including Top of the Pops and Jimmy Will Fix It.
Yeah. Then it turns out he fucked hundreds of children because with that money he would help rebuild hospitals, this kind of thing, until he finally had his own hospital. He's led into about 50 other hospitals. There's pictures of him shaking hands and talking and laughing with the Pope, with the prince and princess, whatever the fuck. You know what they got over there. I don't got to tell you. And so people trusted him, and I'm 3/4 done with the whole thing. There's 2 parts. And any second, I think they're going to tell me how he gets caught, but I'm not sure. Do you know how he got caught, Chris?
Spoiler alert.
Well,
for him.
He not until after he was dead.
That's the bummer.
Oh, wow.
He got. I mean, he lived to be like 80, whatever.
Wow.
Living like just with some rumors that he would be like, I don't know what you're talking about, smoke a cigar, right. And then make a joke about chasing women, and and then after he's dead, the whole country's like, I can't believe we fell for it.
Right.
And now they hate him.
Right. They show all these little interviews kind of like one time he's with two girls who had such trauma in their lives they can't speak. And I do mean girls. They can't talk. And then he's like, okay, so this hospital, this will be good for you. And I'm going to have you first and I'm going to have you second. Ha 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 ha. And the people are just like, oh, Jimmy.
What?
Yeah. You know, by the way, let me say this to bad guys. They're going to catch you once you do a smug interview laying down smoking a cigar. That's what they start looking at. You're a little too comfortable doing all these things to be laying down smoking a cigar. You can't really concentrate with your kid fucking brain.
What were the rumors? Like, what was
that he
what
liked
was,
young girls? But nobody would come forward because they were afraid. Because he
had all these powerful friends.
Yeah, he hangs out with Margaret Thatcher and Prince Charles and shit, and they all act
Princess
like he's the best. And then so nobody came forward until like after he was dead, basically, and then it became like a whole. And then they realized, oh, it's like a Bill Cosby thing where like, oh, there's like 10. Oh no, there's 50. Oh no, there's 100. Oh, this has been going on since 1954.
What was holy shit? But what was like Cosby's thing was to give you a cappuccino and slip a thing in your drink. What was this guy's thing?
He volunteered at hospitals and raped children in them.
In the hospital?
Yeah. And just like, I think like other like young girls like that would, because he hosted that Top of the Pops and
so he had access.
Yeah.
Jeez, fuck.
But his it's a big thing on TV, these stories now. And it's psychopathic narcissism that, not to exaggerate, reminds me of my dad.
Now, why is that? Because your dad didn't have any, there is no, that was weird in a sexual way to children with your dad.
Right? Correct. Right. Just so
everybody
pompous, outgoing, and anytime you ask a question like, hey, what is going on with these rumors? It's a deflection that you think you're so clever, and we know you're just being a weirdo.
I see.
So
his speech pattern of lying and covering up is the same, but they're lying and covering up different things.
Yeah, like, oh, blah, 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 and you're a clever person. Are you tricking people? And he's like, actually, I'm thick. He's saying I'm stupid. And the interviewer's like, are you? He's like, am I? That's my dad.
So the same evasive maneuvers.
Do you think your dad would have been a real predator if he was more charismatic? If he was able to pull it off? Or this isn't like a late in life kind of like he had some weakness and decided to email the one woman he could think of to email. This is, you know what I mean?
Late in life and the one woman, right?
This
who knows?
Or
I think with adult women, I don't think that he didn't seem to have any tendencies or hints or anything of underage anything, but he did see himself as a womanizer, although like you said, there were no women around him that showed. So he like a real dude, he saw himself as like what women want and are attracted to, but he was never able to pursue anything, although there were plenty of opportunities that he's making up because he believes in Jesus and a wife and a marriage, and he doesn't want to break up the family. So he almost makes up that he is a womanizer, but that women just love him and he's a good guy, but none of that ever happens.
Jimmy did that too. He wanted to give the press something. He made up stories that he'd date women, leave them, date another. Like he was just adult women, of course, but he was just a bad boy. And then people are like, they can't find any of these women. They've never heard this story. Like he wanted to seem like he was a man's man because his face and personality was so goofy. He wanted to be taken like a mob boss a little bit. Well, I see my dad like that.
Don't all liars tell you the truth that you want, that they want you to see? So all the lies are, this is how you should see me. This is how you should see me. This is how you should see me. Right. But it's not there to see. So they're creating a world. They're making shit up. So it's really just liar. All this like heavy duty narcissist, like real deal psychiatric diagnosis. They're liars. And that's how liars talk.
He even lied during his.
I don't like the confident. You can't trust them.
Right.
They're always a fucking problem. And people are. It's too powerful. If you're confident, you can do whatever the fuck you want. It feels like, and I just stay away from those people. I don't want nothing to do with them. That's why I don't like the people dancing at the party, at the wedding. They're confident. No, no, you can't dance, and I see it.
Toxic confidence.
Right.
Toxic confidence.
Chris asks somebody, "Hey, what do you want? Where you want to go eat?" They go Italian. He goes, "Too fast. Goodbye. Fuck off."
Yeah, you should be like, "Oh, what do you want?" I don't know. What do you want? We should do that for a little bit.
If you recall, my dad wrote what he wants on his tombstone, and we saw this, and it's laughable, and there's no way we're going to do it. But he wants to be called a prince because in his because his priesthood says he's a prince. Yeah, we don't know what he's talking about either. And then all these different facts that he did in his life, and we're like, you didn't do these things, and he goes, "It's my life. Can't I remember it how I want to?" I'm like, you gotta go out lying. Like people are go, "Oh, we had a prince in Somerset, Pennsylvania." You don't think they're just gonna laugh at you? But the point is, you're just gonna go out lying.
Yeah, because that's how he wants you to see him.
Right.
What does he care?
Right. Oh well. I do want to get into this new podcast called A Very Long Conversation. And whenever I play it, it starts right in the middle of a conversation, Chris. You're very avant-garde, okay? Between that and your other podcast where you do it as soon as you wake up for 10 minutes, you're very artsy.
Well, Jacqueline Novak is the producer, and so she edits the thing. And it was, it's just a series of conversations that me and Jack Antonoff had about like art and being an artist and stuff, and his both of our lives. And so it is like kind of cut up, and it just, it is a little, it just starts and then ends at a good point. But I think
Keith, he doesn't know. Why are you telling him? Just let him talk for a long time. Let Jacqueline do what she does.
Right.
Yeah, but I like it like that. I don't think we need anything else on there. It's like kind of because it's like a bare bones type of thing. We just kind of did it, and there's no like anything.
How do you decide what to talk about?
Well, it was mostly about just like the ideas. Like I've known Jack, since I've known Jacqueline, so about like since 2010.
Are you sure, or are they just similar in names?
Well, they're cousins.
Oh, okay.
They're cousins. That's how I know.
Wait, why are we saying, "Oh, okay"? Like that makes sense.
Yeah, sure.
But it's like we've both been kind of doing our thing for, I think he's probably been a musician longer than I've been a comedian, but it's not that different. And I've seen him go from like kind of like living in his parents' house to being this super like producer, musician, famous, successful guy. And I'm still, plugging away. So it's kind of, it's just, I enjoy his success. Most people I know, like in comedy, I'll resent their success.
Sure.
So since he is in music, I am able to separate myself like that. But it's also,
so you're only able to enjoy people with the name starting with Jack.
Yes. Well, okay. Jacqueline Novak's success, of course, I enjoy because it pays for everything
you can eat
in my life. But and I don't resent other people's success really, but it's but I love Jack's music and what he does, and him as a person. We've had, we would just hang out and talk a lot about these types of things, about art and like what it's like to decide, to decide this is what you're going to do. And Jacqueline thought it would be a good idea for us to record it, and so that's what we've done. And I think we'll do.
Keith, he was told to sit down and talk. Stop asking questions.
You're right.
So that was my question.
In the 10-minute podcast, Overslept, you mentioned that you go to church now. You prefer it online. It's easier. You can be in your underwear.
I started believing in God. Yeah, I was an atheist, and now I believe in God.
Can I ask you how that happened?
Mostly. Steve Harvey.
Steve Harvey had something to say during his Family Feud breaks?
Yes, he talks about God. Like if you go to his YouTube,
we lost you to Steve Harvey.
I like Steve Harvey. I love Steve Harvey. If you look for like funny like clips on YouTube, he goes YouTube channel. There's other times like
That's how you find God. You look for
during
funny
the commercial.
on YouTube.
Yeah, the commercial breaks. He talks to the audience about God, and like I love Steve Harvey. I'm like Steve Harvey saying if you're trying to have sex. If you're trying to have success without God, you're tripping. And I was like, I'm not tripping, Steve Harvey. I don't know. It just kind of there's something. It just kind. So I just gave it a shot. You know, like let me see what happens if I believe in God. And
now, do you consider yourself? Did I hear you consider yourself a free agent? You haven't decided.
Yeah. I'm not like in a real church or anything because I don't know. I don't. I'm just kind of checking things out.
What church do you go to?
It better be Steve Harvey's Catholic, right?
I'm not. Well, Catholic's off limit. That I ain't doing.
Look up what Steve Harvey is.
Garbage.
Look up what
Steve Harvey's not Catholic.
I don't. Whatever he is, that's what you got to do. Let's see.
No, I don't know. I don't know what he does exactly. If I talk to him, he tells me if Steve Harvey told me to go to a church, I'd check it out. But I don't know if it's definitely like I'm going to agree with everything Steve Harvey has to say just because I enjoy his jokes.
He's a Christian. He's a Christian. He's attributed his success to his faith in God.
Yeah.
So are you a Christian or you're not sure?
I'm doing Jesus and Bible and all that. I'm reading Bible a little bit and I'm following it because Jesus is pretty chill. I like Jesus, you know, it's not like Republican Jesus, but like real Jesus, you know, like the actual like Jesus that at least that's what, you know, I'm not like trying to.
I would
tell
hate for
people
somebody to
do
go,
anything.
I love Chemda, not Republican Chemda, but you know, the other ones.
Well, like you know, like the one, it's like, I feel like Jesus is good, but it got in my mind, it got taken by these people who I don't agree with. And I was like, oh, I don't have to do that. You know, it's like, why let them have like the good shit? You know,
Chris brought up, is there going to be a problem with, you know, some people believe in evolution, some people don't. And he goes, you know what, actually, when you talk to people, it never comes up. So whatever.
I kind of like the when they don't. I mean, I do. I think it's kind of, it's like, oh, you're going for it. You're really, you know, I mean, as long as they're like a science teacher or a doctor or something, or like my doctor.
Is Jacqueline religious?
She's very, she's like one of the kind of into like spiritual stuff and everything.
Gotcha.
Yeah, she's like not. She's not going to church or anything like that.
Are you trying to show her the truth? Are you leaving little booklets around?
I don't suggest it to anybody. It's a hassle.
How's
if you're
the
an
Bible?
atheist, I say stick with atheism as long as you fucking can. It's
Right,
great.
you just couldn't.
It's the easiest. Yeah, but
How's the Bible? You're reading it, you said?
oh, it's fucking hard. I don't know what's going on in there. There's like little things you're like, Jesus like saying like worrying won't add a minute to your life. I'm like, okay, I get that. That's good. That's some chill shit. But then there's a bunch of stuff I'm like, you know, begat of this person, of that person, like whatever. You know, I skim it. I don't know how much I'm gonna get through. I think trying to get the gist of the whole thing. It's dense. It's hard.
Is religion related to the way you think in that you used to be, you mentioned thinking the way of George Carlin when he said, let me watch it burn. I love destruction. You know, then surprise, surprise, we have 9/11. He doesn't bring that joke up so much, you know, at the time. And now you're like, no, let's all get together. We're all fucking human beings, you know, kumbaya. Am I right or wrong? And is that related to religion?
I don't know. Well, no, that's more, I'm just trying to like not be angry all the time, you know? Right. So some of that with God, I'm able to like, whatever, if I'm talking to an imaginary friend or whatever, it seems to like even me out a little bit. Cause I got, you know, and the watching, no, it's just like George Carlin, when he said, you know, I'm not participating in this. This is crazy. I'm paraphrasing. I don't know exactly what he said, and I'm just going to watch the show. And like, I've gone back and forth on that. Like, I do vote and think it's important to vote. I wouldn't advocate against voting, but you know, I'm like, yeah, it's me. Like the news has become just like this I don't know what to fucking do with it anymore. You know,
Right.
other than try to like live my life and kind of know what's going on, but not get sucked into it because it's like it's taking up a lot of my energy, you know?
Me and the boys were thinking of going Ukraine for a week or two, help them out a bit. You into that?
Okay. Yeah, I would. I mean, if you're gonna go do something, then yeah. But it's like I'm not. It's like if I'm not gonna go do something, and I'm just gonna be like, you know, like I want to know. I mean, I read what's going on and stuff. I mean, but it's like I'm trying to find a balance, I guess, of not like letting it like actually like give me a heart attack or something.
Taking on the responsibilities that are actually truly yours that you can make a change with. Perfect.
And
we lost him just on that.
We lost him on that, and I was
Jesus took him away before we told him the truth.
Can you imagine? I feel like that would be like an Adam Sandler movie or something. You have to live your life like Steve Harvey for a year.
You know, I really get the Bible stuff because it does have, I think, and I was telling this to Xerxes and he says it has some good stuff. So the Bible has to have some good stuff so that the other stuff seems reasonable, but people skip over it. So I really think
the Batman had some good stuff. You know what I mean?
Right. There are lessons everywhere.
Stuff. Sure.
I really want to build this community with OMAT so that people have a place to go where they're feeling that overwhelm and that what really can I do? And there's like everything is overpowering, but without the deity. And I think like I've been collecting that kind of information, and that's what OMAT is. And I just and I maybe at some point I turn that into a church. And not call it a church, because I think I know what people are looking for when they say God or the universe or whatever. And I think it's very necessary to find that in order to take down the overwhelm of that. Everything in life is just so gigantic. What's actually ours to do.
Right. Hey, Chris, what happened?
My computer died.
Oh,
so now I'm on my phone. I'm sorry.
Jesus, take the wheel.
You know, yeah.
All right. Well, here's what I want to mention. Download the podcasts, A Very Long Conversation, and Overslept. And he keeps shitting on Overslept, but he does it every single day. So
I know, but I've done it for 5 years, and it has not really improved. If anything, it's getting worse. But it's there, and some people like it. I just don't want people to think I think it's good. So if people want to listen to it, what's that?
If they want to listen to it and they want to think it's good, that's their prerogative.
That's fine. No confidence. And I think that's admirable on my part. That speaks to me not being a psycho pedophile too. You know, I have no confidence. So, but it's there, and we'll see. I just keep doing it. It's like it's an exercise. I don't know.
And of course, the website is chrislaker.com, right?
Yes.
All right, and you can see the late night appearances right there. Big announcement today. It's a special day of celebrating / demanding an inevitable lift of prohibition on a beloved plant. That's 420. For a limited time, this is kind of this idea, save $4.20 on all the items in the Keith and the Girls store.
You know, some of that stuff in our store, that cuts it in half.
Right. Use code 420, of course. All right. So you go to our store, keithandthegirl.com/store. You type in code 420.
And it'll appear in checkout. And
it appears in checkout. And so you'll see. Okay. All right. Chris, good seeing you again. Thanks a lot. Happy holidays. Get it?
Yes. I do celebrate for everybody out celebrating 420. It's a fun day. I'm happy for you. Enjoy it.
Yeah. They get to smoke today finally. That's exciting for them.
That's just, I hate St. Patrick's Day, like the drinking, like kind of holidays things, like, but the weed 420 for some reason, it's just fun. Weed's fun. I'll miss it, but whatever.
I think New York's smelling better. It smells like weed, of course, but it doesn't smell like bum shit.
And it mellows people. I think once like vape pens got introduced to New York City, things got a bit more chill for a while, you know?
Yeah. Who cares that a few people got shot on the train and people are getting stabby?
Well, I mean, I haven't been there since that started, you know?
The pandemic might have something to do with it too.
Do you think weed companies will start like blowing the smoke like out the side of their door the way KFC, throws out the scent of food?
Oh, that'll get people in. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, we were walking around in the East Village yesterday and we got coupons for free joints at the place on the corner of 2nd and St. Mark's. And we got like 4 free joints that day. Amazing, because they had a soft opening. So now people are trying to get you into their stores because it's their version of legal and you're getting free shit. We were their first customers. We just happened to be there.
It's not like some Delta 8 or Crantham or whatever the fuck it is that keeps selling in the bodegas. Okay.
No, because now it's recreationally possible to buy.
Okay, that's great. That's going to put the Crantham people out of business. It's got to.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever
this fake weed, yeah,
yeah.
Well, let me say this, Chris. Good luck on your gambling.
Thank you.
Not gambling. I hope you find something. Okay, and that's that. I think you're the greatest, and we'll talk to you guys soon.